side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Brown. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And out will come the offense as they take over. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 14 carries, 68 yards. On second down now. It's Carson, and he'll be brought down right around the 37.
I'm so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action with Wilson. On the move to his left. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He's got the tight end, Vanette. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. This thrown quickly out to Jones. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 14.
Watch tight end. Key him. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings? That they
rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now fourth down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again? And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Carson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Bang out, bam. Tempo.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half, as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because other...
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
Interception, baby.
Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Check, Mike, 54.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Johnson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. It's a pickup of 3. On 2nd and 7, Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Tracy Walker in on the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 1st down marker at the 11. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. Runs over him. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And it's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They run it with Carson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Carson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Myers' kick is good. And that will knot things up here late in the 1st half. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
From just shy of midfield, Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
One thing you're hoping.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first, this one from 38. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will do it for this first half. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I look, well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. He juked him. He spins free.
Come on now, let's go.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. 23 yards the pickup there.
Let's go.
A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
10 yards and a Seattle first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On the delay, here's Carson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. but I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum. Big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Stafford now 11 of 17 passing thus far. Johnson on the draw. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
Let's go,
Off the draw, here's Johnson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
First time they looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the first. On first down, Stafford here.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. They go to Johnson again. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, A field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run on first down. Carson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Stafford going underneath. He's got Hawkinson. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 4th down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
A very important extra point there, up and good. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. This is Carson. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Wilson on target there to Moore. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Give me some. Here we go. Watch twist.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Again, it's Penny. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Wilson to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal. Ooh, with a juke. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Second and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's third and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Throwing now is Wilson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And that will break our tie and give him a 3-point lead. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Seahawks, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3.